Welcome into this week's edition of Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. I'm Scott Stewart, your host and the publisher of Main Street Maury, the Pulaski Citizen, and the Lawrence County Advocate. We invite the residents of any and all of our communities to pick up a copy of your community paper at markets all across your county. And if you want, you can have them sent to you at home through an annual subscription. Each week on our show, Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee, we give you a sneak peek at what you can expect to find on the pages of your community newspaper. So let's get started this week with Main Street Maury. On the front of Main Street Maury this week, Olivia Adams tells us about an effort to preserve the history as part of the new Maury County Judicial Center. 2 benches from the old courthouse will be refinished for the new Judicial Center. Editor Chris Gregory has the story this week of the passing of Irene Duggar, one of the caretakers of Mount Pleasant's historical legacy. She was a co-founder and longtime officer of the Mount Pleasant Museum of Local History. Also on the front page, the Spring Hill Board of Mayor and Aldermen had a lot to cover, having missed a couple of weeks during the winter storm. Among those decisions last week was a unanimous rejection of the Williamson County Growth Plan that some aldermen said failed to follow state law, and also left Spring Hill as the only Williamson County that didn't get their request in their urban growth boundary. The Columbia City Council has approved the bid for a construction of a $95.2 million wastewater treatment plant upgrade. Spring Hill is launching a free tourism workshop next Wednesday, that's February 21st, at 10 a.m. at the Holiday Inn Express there in Spring Hill. Maury County Parks and Recreation's Al Ray has presented an update on a $750,000 grant the county received for improvements at the Culleoka Community Park. The Maury Alliance held its annual meeting January 3rd and celebrated a big year with more than 300 businesses and community leaders gathered for the evening. Each week we share a ton of community events in Main Street Maury, and each week Main Street Maury is the only place that you will find the weekly deals from Piggly Wiggly. Main Street Maury is honored when you allow us to run your loved ones' obituaries in the paper. It's something that we believe is core of what we do as a community newspaper. The information you need to submit your obituary notice to the Main Street Maury is right there in the pages of the paper each week. And once again, we thank you for giving us the honor and trust for that important information for your family. Main Street Maury is packed full this week of classifieds, puzzles, and comics, the church directory, messages from local businesses, and this week we've got school honor rolls that we're running, and we didn't even get them all in this week. We'll have more in next week. So make sure you pick up this week's edition of Main Street Maury and next week's edition of Main Street Maury and the next and the next and the next. We love it when you pick up our paper. And finally, I just want to challenge you to look as far and as wide as you can. Find any newspaper you can get your hands on and tell me if you could find a newspaper with a more comprehensive coverage of sports than you will find here in Main Street Maury. Of course, that means you got to pick up Main Street Maury so you can compare them, right? But I challenge you to compare them and find me a better sports page than our sports editor, Mo Patton, puts together every week. And so I tell you what, let's just go to Mo right now and find out what's going on in Maury County sports.
Thanks, Scott. Hey, this week's Main Street Maury print edition in sports, leading off, ironically enough, Columbia Academy junior pitcher Anna Brewer recently announced that she will sign a college softball scholarship with Stanford. Stanford, you may recognize if you follow college softball at all, was in the Women's College World Series Final Four a year ago, and Anna will be part of their 2025 recruiting class. So you can read up on that in this week's print edition of Main Street Maury. We've also got coverage of Columbia Central's regular season finale against District 9 4A rival Shelbyville. You can see how both the Lady Lions and the Lions came out in that. Got coverage of the Region 6 AA wrestling tournament that took place Saturday up at Franklin, and you can see who's moving on to this weekend's sectional tournament up at Independence. Also, speaking of Independence, coverage of their regular season matchup, the first of two over a 3-day period against Summit, we've got coverage of a red-hot Mount Pleasant boys basketball team that's rolling into the postseason. Also, our area football college scholarship signees in the signing period that began last Wednesday. We've got coverage of those guys. We've got high school basketball box scores from across the area. We've got high school stat leaders from across the area. Also of note, former Columbia Central football standout James Woody passed away up in Ohio recently at the age of 74. We've got a little information on when his services will take place up there, and so I'm sure that there are a number of Columbia Central fans that would want to know about that. So again, that's in the print edition of Main Street Maury this week. So be sure and check it out. Online this week, in print next week. Postseason high school basketball coverage. Everybody is getting into district or regional tournament play, so we will have updates on all of that. Again, we'll have box scores from all of those games. We will have our stat leaders and more wrestling coverage as the sectionals again will be taking place at Independence this weekend. The Eagles will have wrestlers in that along with Spring Hill, Columbia Central, and of course Summit. So be sure and check all that out on the website at mainstreetmaury.com. More here on Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee, when we come back.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Having a good, confident smile and being able to portray that positivity to others is really helpful.
A professional family atmosphere is what we get every time we come here.
Our hygienists do a better job at kind of assessing mouths and coming up with plans than most dentists do.
They're very kind and they're very aware of other people.
I think if there's things that I would want you to leave here with, I want you to feel like you were heard, that we listened to you, and I want you to feel like that your concerns were addressed.
Since 1975, Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic has treated the orthopedic needs of Middle Tennessee residents. The trained physicians provide surgical options and minimally invasive options to treat all orthopedic needs. The walk-in clinic, OrthoQuick, helps you bypass the ER while treating sports injuries and acute needs Monday through Saturday. Visit MTBJ online at mtbj.net or on social media at Mid-Tennessee Bone Joint Clinic.
Welcome back, guys. This is the Pulaski Citizen Wrap for this week. We always like to start the Pulaski Citizen Wrap with our Pulaski Citizen Spotlight. And this week's Spotlight is Randy Paul Nesbitt, who made it his mission to help folks out during the winter storm last month. Randy Paul takes the spot of honor, top and center of the front page of this week's Pulaski Citizen. Two of the county's utility districts have made the preliminary decision to consolidate. Connie Rowe has all the information from a joint meeting held last week between South Giles and Tarpley Shop districts. So the Super Bowl is over, and that can only mean one thing. That's right, it's radio auction time. That's not what you were thinking, was it? Well, here in Giles County, that's what we're thinking. The annual community radio auction kicks off Sunday, and yours truly will be one of several on-air auctioneers. See the front of this week's paper for some items, times, and how to listen or watch the first week of the radio auction. Also on the front page, UT Southern received an historic 600-acre gift recently, and the Tennessee Department of Education has provided funds for school safety equipment that teachers can wear in the classroom. All of that is on this week's front page. Inside, we've got a preview of next week's County Commission meeting. It's Realtors Week, so don't forget to check out the Realtors ads. A report on the annual state of the University of Tennessee system, which includes the University of Tennessee Southern here in Pulaski. Also, we've got your weekly obituary announcements, your backward glances, court docket, property transfers, church directory, community briefs, and I always love the Giles County Humane Association Pet Corner. Johnny Phelps highlights Tarpley this week with his Giles Pass column. And in honor of the holiday of love this week, our old buddy, Trey Donovan, has given us a Valentine's playlist. So we hope you enjoy that. Now, let's go check with Wade Neely for Pulaski Citizen Sports.
Thank you, Scott. Busy week for us here in Giles County as we had a lot of regular season basketball to wrap up as Giles County and Richland have concluded their final games and now shift their focus into tournament time. And a busy week, especially for the Richland Lady Raiders, who won 3 big ball games, including a massive non-district game versus number 4 ranked Loretto, a team that they jumped up in classification to beat. It was a great win for RHS playing at home. We have complete coverage of all 3 of the Lady Raider games and all 3 Lady Raider victories as they finished the regular season unbeaten in district play. Moving to the boys side of Richland, up at the folks up in Linville, mixed bag. Richland had a nice win to start the season on Tuesday night versus Culleoka. Suffered a tough loss to a ranked 2A Loretto squad on Thursday, but then they rebounded with a nice win Friday versus Hampshire. Coach Jason Lovelace has his team playing well heading into the postseason. They finished tied with Santa Fe atop the district standings, and they, by virtue of a coin flip, I believe, will be finishing first in that. So either way, Richland and Santa Fe set at 1 and 2, and the Raiders are now on to the postseason. Giles County, meanwhile, tough stretch last week for both the Bobcats and Lady Bobcats as all 4 games went in favor of the opposition. Tuesday night, in all games that we broadcast on Pulaski Citizen Live, suffered losses, the Murfreesboro Central Magnet, and then on Thursday, closed out the regular season, 2 tough losses to Tullahoma Lady Wildcats. They are the number 1 seed, and GCHS really struggled to get its momentum going there. On the boys' side, the second half kind of got away from GCHS, and they end up getting kind of ran out of the gym on the road. But the season springs anew, and at least for most of our teams, Giles County ladies already suffered a loss on Monday this week, but hopefully everybody's still intact as we head forward into the rest of district play. Other big story this week, our feature story perhaps, is we have 2 Giles County All-State football selections as Maury Smith and Kamari Turner both were recognized by the TSWA in the Class 3A All-State recognition earlier this year. We have a great feature, had a great time talking to both Amari and Kamari, 2 seniors that really left their mark on the Bobcat football program. Great recognition for them, and we had a great time catching up again with them. Then to close things out, we had a chance to visit UT Southern on Saturday, and so we have some artwork in this week's edition as the Firehawk men's basketball team just rolls right along. They are 23-2. They've now won 19 games in a row, and they are all but assured of winning the Southern States Athletic Conference regular season championship. And if they do so, they only need 1 more win in the regular season to do it. If they do, they will clinch a berth to the NAI National Tournament. So check all that out. That is what's in print this week. As always, you can find everything online at PulaskiCitizen.com. Wade Neely, your sports editor here in Giles County, saying see you next time.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
They have always met wildest expectations as far as taking care of my teeth and my health. You know, teeth health is very important now to your heart. And I told him one day, I said, I'd love to have nice teeth and nice hair. And he said, well, I can take care of the teeth, but I can't take care of the hair. And I said, you can make my teeth? He said, yeah. I said, well, let's go for it. And he did. And I have been tremendously pleased. Dr. Hart, if you need him at night, he's here. This staff here will take care of you 24/7. You don't have to worry about, I can't get a hold of my dentist, my tooth's hurting. No, they will be here for you. And if I could get Dr. Hart to take that same artistry that he has and grow hair, then he would be double rich.
The Lawrence County Board of Education received a State of the School System address or report from Director of Schools Michael Atkins during its January meeting. Atkins assessed the state of the school system as strong with work to do, and he added that they're not going to be letting up anytime soon. The board extended Atkins' contract last month as well and recognized Students and Retired Teacher of the Month. All that on the front page and even inside this week's Lawrence County Advocate. Also on the front page, the Lawrenceburg Utility System Board of Directors has approved an electric service rate increase that is designed to keep the system maintained and functioning within the rising cost of inflation being experienced nationwide. After hearing a recommendation from a rate consultant last month, the board voted to raise rates by 2%. The details are all right there on the front page. So we made a mistake a few weeks ago, and I know it's hard to believe that we could even make a mistake, right? But we did, and we do make mistakes every now and then. So we're happy to correct the mistake. As a matter of fact, we put it right there on the front page because we want you guys to have the right information. We take accuracy very seriously here at Lawrence County Advocate. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what the mistake was and how to fix it, and then also you can pick up the paper. But it's basically got to do with the Text My Gov story that we talked about, where Lawrence County is providing text information if you sign up through a text service, and it's called Text My Gov. And what you're going to want to do, there's a number, it's 91896. This is the number you'll use, 91896. That's what we messed up. I'm not going to tell you what we messed up because then you'll dial that instead of 91896, which is the correct number. But you're going to text one word, LawCo Alerts to 91896, and that will sign you up for text notifications from Lawrence County. Find out more what it's all about right there on the front page of the Lawrence County Advocate this week. So early voting for the March 5th primary election starts today, and also on the front page we have some information from the most recent St. Joseph City meeting. Inside we have a capital review from State Representative Kip Capley. Lawrence County has received an EV charging station grant, local obituary notices, and our old buddy, just like in the Pulaski Citizen, our old buddy Trey Donovan has written us a Valentine's playlist. As always, we've got comics and puzzles, classifieds, church page, and more. Lawrence County Advocate Sports highlights all of our local high school basketball teams who have started district tournaments this week. The Lawrence County girls won their first round game Monday. Summertown and Loretto girls were scheduled to play separate games last night at Loretto. The Summertown and Loretto boys are scheduled to play separate games at Loretto Thursday night. Let's see, the Lawrence County boys and girls will play at host site Marshall County Friday, and all Summertown and Loretto teams remaining in the tournament will play at Loretto Saturday. And then there's more next week. So just get ready for it. But what you can see this week in the sports section is all the final regular season week action for all of our local schools, including complete with photographs there in the Lawrence County Advocate. Hey, don't forget that you can sign up for a subscription to have the Lawrence County Advocate sent to your house each week. Subscription delivery begins the first week of March, and we will not be charging for rack sales. Just always remember that. The reason we're doing subscriptions is people have approached us and asked us if there's a way for them to get it delivered to them. And that's why we're doing subscriptions. We are not going to start charging for the rack copies that are in more than 100 stores across Lawrence County every week. But I will tell you this, the folks that subscribe will get a kind of a special edition of the Lawrence County Advocate each week that includes 4 additional pages of comics and puzzles. So not only will you get it delivered to you, but you get the extra special edition if you subscribe to the Lawrence County Advocate. So just call 931-762-1726 for more information. That's 931-762-1726 to sign up for a subscription to the Lawrence County Advocate. And make sure you get your copy of the Lawrence County Advocate today in more than 100 stores across Lawrence County, free of charge. We'll be right back to wrap up this week's show right after the weather.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather today.
Warmer temperatures on this Wednesday. Here's your Build Your Day hourly forecast brought to you by Parks Lumber Company. Sunny skies today, and we start a southerly wind, and that means warmer temperatures into the lower, maybe middle 60s by the afternoon. Beautiful conditions out there. And then staying on the mild side tonight only, down into the lower 40s for overnight lows for most of us. Here's the Futurecast breakdown. Clear skies out there. A southerly wind today warms us quickly. Upper 50s to lower 60s by midday, and everybody low to mid 60s into the afternoon. Falling back into the 50s towards sunset, 40s overnight. And then I think we stopped the thermometer around the upper 30s and lower 40s around daybreak, staying with our southerly wind, and then clouds increasing going into our Thursday. But despite the cloud cover, mid to upper 60s for daytime highs. Cold front staying off to the north, but it does gradually move into the area late Friday and Friday night with rain with it. No widespread heavy rain like the last couple weekends. No severe storms either, but a big change to quick hitting cooler air for the weekend with daytime highs in the low to mid 40s by Saturday. Check this out. Overnight low Saturday night, well down into the 20s. And then we quickly moderate going into early next week. 58 by Monday, 60s as early as Tuesday of next week. So it's a roller coaster here for the next 7 days. Low to mid 60s across southern Middle Tennessee. On your hometown forecast for today, sunny skies out there. Low to mid 60s also over northwest Alabama and northeast Mississippi. Here's your 7-day forecast from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Sunny today, mild temperatures all the way through Friday, but clouds increase tomorrow and Friday. Rain showers by Friday afternoon and especially Friday night. I think the rain's over for our local area by daybreak on Saturday. Partly cloudy skies and colder conditions over the weekend. And then we quickly moderate those temperatures back to mild conditions early next week. That's a check of your latest 7-day forecast. Kelly Rosslin is back in the Weather Center live at noon with your latest local forecast.
Well, that's it for this week's Morning on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. Don't forget to pick up your copy of your county's local newspaper, Maury County, Giles County, Lawrence County. Local journalism is vital for our communities, and we appreciate your support. For the staffs of the Lawrence County Advocate, Main Street Maury, and the Pulaski Citizen, I'm Scott Stewart, and we'll see you next week on Morning on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee.